Hello and welcome to our Eduro Learning video series, Let's Get Connected. In this series, we will hear from 10 connected teachers from all around the world as they share their top tips for getting connected, ways to connect your classroom and your students, to advice for ways to bring parents on board with a connected classroom, and so much more. My name is Chrissy Hallier and I'll be your host throughout this series. I've been a connected teacher with a connected classroom for over 10 years now, and I can't wait to introduce you to some of the connected educators that I've had the privilege of getting connected to and working on global collaboration projects with. They're also going to be sharing some of the things that they've learnt, and I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I've learnt along the way. Today, our amazing connected teachers are back with us to talk about the value of being a connected teacher. Enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, I think the value of becoming a connected educator lies in kind of broadening who you are, I guess. This idea that it pushes you to kind of pursue boundaries that you never thought you might. We kind of gives you a global perspective again, and kind of connects you to some incredible people. I've been quite fortunate over the last couple of years to kind of virtually meet a bunch of individuals who have really impacted my practice and have impacted my classroom, even though we've never even sometimes met in person. So that's kind of a pretty amazing thing to do, or to have had happen. It also, being a connected educator, it kind of pushed me to lead at my own school, which is kind of interesting. This idea that I was connected to some global and different voices from around the world also kind of led me to be inspired to kind of want to connect and also lead, like I was saying, with people here on campus, which I thought was kind of different. But this idea that I was connecting outside of my realm and then kind of wanting to also push that at home was kind of cool. In teaching middle school art and design, I'm kind of an island as well. I'm the only teacher who teaches those subjects. And so putting the time in to be a connected educator allowed me to make connections with people that were going to push my pedagogy or my process and enable me to really sort of try something new. And that was what I value, especially out of that.
So I think the benefit of being a connected educator is you have this opportunity to consider different perspectives and to find people who are just as passionate and excited about certain ideas or topics as you are. I've heard a lot of people talk about finding their tribe online, and I can certainly say I've developed a lot of friendships and great professional connections by being a connected educator. And I think, teaching can be isolating. And so it's hard to find time during the day to talk to someone about things that you're working on. But what's really awesome about tools online are that they're available 24/7. So if you come up with a new lesson on the weekend or some nagging question wakes you up late at night, you can jump on to a social network and, using certain hashtags that are kind of your tribes, your groups, you can throw it out there and probably somewhere in the world, here's an idea or an answer. And that's really powerful.
The value of being a connected educator to me is this idea of just having an expanded perspective of the world. I need my students to understand that the classroom is not simply the world that they live in, that there's actually something bigger, broader, and more expansive and more interesting far beyond those walls. And so the value therefore in being a connected educator is just being able to bring that world either into my classroom or take my students out into that world.
I think the value of being a connected teacher or educator, when we're talking about living in a connected world like we are now, it only makes sense to me to expose students to the opportunities such as blogging, which is something that I do regularly, Skyping authors in from around the world. If we can't go to them, why can't they come to us? Things like that. And as educators, we are never supposed to stop learning. It's, we're always learning, and being a connected educator is one way to allow for that. And there's always something new. There's always something invigorating that can be learned when you connect with classrooms outside of your own community. And it's really easy to get stuck in a bubble, to kind of close your classroom door. So it's really important to broaden that horizon and look beyond just the four walls?
For me, the value of connected education comes back to the fact that it's tapping into other people, tapping into their experiences, sharing their experiences, and it's also really affirming that I'm not sitting in a classroom by myself. I'm not in my own little island that's locked in there. Actually, I'm working and collaborating and connecting with people with a wealth of experience that I can then bring into my classroom. My students can draw on, I can draw on, and I can also share going the other way.
So for me as an educator, when I think about why should I be a connected educator, I really think about the fact that having a personal learning network is absolutely priceless. It is a great way to kind of fight isolation. I myself happen to be isolated in my building because I'm in a portable. And one of the big things that helped me become a connected educator was the fact that, like, I didn't see anybody. Nobody ever comes to my room. And so being a connected educator meant reaching beyond my portable walls and finding people that I could connect with and see and talk to. And so another reason why it's a great way and why you should spend your time with this is just it provides great learning opportunities. There's so many people out there that have been there and done it and who can give you new ideas and new ways to try things out. And, you know, you wouldn't know unless you've actually connected with them. So I think that's kind of why you should take your time to be a connected educator.
I think the value of being a connected educator is that, you know, you learn and then also people give back. So, I mean, if you're out there and you're sharing, people are also sharing. And someone once explained it to me that, you know, it's kind of like a garden. And, you know, if you're tending the garden, you'll see the flowers bloom. But if you leave it, you'll have lots of weeds. And sometimes you need to go and pick those weeds to make your learning, you know, the most effective that works for you. So, I mean, from my perspective, I really get a lot out of learning from others. And so for me, that's why I do it.
I feel like when I'm connecting to other people outside of my own classroom, I learn more automatically, whether it's following a librarian in New Jersey, Rhonda Jenkins, whom I adore, and I learn so much from her as a person, to then also my students learning more from other people as well.
One of the big pluses with being connected, besides what it does for your students, is how you connect with other teachers, and you're able to use their expertise, and sometimes that connection is then translated into doing a collaborative project or whatever. And so to get all that going, you have to be out there on the web through Twitter and maybe blogs, and in a lot of places people already are, but they tend not to cultivate that very well. So it is a bit of a time suck, but it's mostly, to me, it was pretty interesting when I first got into Twitter. I just, you learn little tricks like, following, people, other teachers, especially, I follow people besides teachers for sure. But the way to connect with those other educators anywhere in the world is you connect with some key people, and then you go to their Twitter account and who are they following and who's following them and who there looks like an appropriate connection for you, a valuable piece, and then start following them. And they don't necessarily follow you back, but you start seeing their content. And you'll most likely get them to follow you back if you interact with them and you react to things they've said and share out things you've done like that, or tell them how you used their idea and boy, it was awesome, and then you did this too, and then all of a sudden you'll get a follow back, and you just keep doing that, and it's 5 minutes a night, and it's every once in a while you'll spend 45 minutes, and you'll get into some great conversations. But if you just follow your mom and dad and a couple of celebrities and a couple of teachers that are already friends of yours, and then sit and wait, it's not going to happen.
The value of being a connected educator is having children that are engaged, having children who understand that they're part of the world, having children who understand that their job is to make the world a better place and that they have friends around the world that they need to do that for. It takes very little effort and very little time once you get started. And I couldn't imagine ever going backwards and not being a connected educator.
There is so much value in being a connected teacher, as you've heard from our awesome connected teachers today. Whether it be that you use it to break down the walls of your classroom to help transport your students out of the classroom to places that they might not ever get to physically, or whether it's to bring experts into your classroom that your students might not ever be exposed to, or whether it's just for you, being connected so that you can get ideas and help and support wherever you are in the world. If you like this format, hearing from lots of different perspectives on a single topic, then please click on that like button below. Subscribe to our channel to get all of the videos in this series. Turn on the notifications to find out when we're live on YouTube and be the first to see the next installment in the Let's Get Connected series. Do you have any questions about having a connected classroom or being a connected teacher? Or would you like to see a specific series related to anything about education and technology? Leave us a comment below and let us know. If you'd like to see even more resources to help you in the classroom after you've watched this series, then head on over to our website and check out all of our free resources. We have more videos, blog posts, some online courses all about teaching and learning and coaching in the digital world.